the goal scorer from Saturday, Whelan, who is over the ball. And of course, in the wake of yesterday's news that I'm sure disappointed many across the country, including many of you watching, I hope that these two teams can put on a performance that's going to make you a bit more cheerful. Long ball headed towards Justin Dunower, who's nodded it down to the outside with Cameron Cox. The cross in immediately towards Hudlin, who rather scuffed his effort. I think it came to him perhaps just a little bit more quickly than he expected to his inside to help clear up. The long clearance ends up with Cameron. And now here's Cranston for the Moors. Storer towards Maycock. Defender commits himself. That was Weston there. Now Maycock. Can he find a through ball? He goes outside to the right to Cox. Cox will try and strike from distance. It's not the worst effort. Yanni's to the outside of Asante, but he goes back to Whelan, the man who initially won the ball. And a ball towards Denton, who heads it backwards well towards Taylor. I think that ball was intentionally aimed for Taylor. Taylor's going to try and take on Cox. Cox slides in, and then there's a slight trip. I thought that might be a free kick there, but no. Here's Maguire now getting forward, and it's got it towards Denton. His header is high and wide. Maguire had gotten in front of the Moors striker, and now there's 2-on-2. Whelan, can he get around Carter? He can, and now Cameron caught in no man's land, really. Jordan Cranston trying to race back, but here's Whelan with a shot, and boot dives well to his left. I think it was comfortably enough within his range. He didn't have to stretch too far to make that save. Can Chesterfield enjoy the similar success? There it comes. It's McCourt with the ball in, and Denton has scored. It went over the top of Ryan Boot, and Denton has gotten free at the back post, and that, I think it is safe to say, is maybe just a case of players ball watching, as the ball goes over the top of Ryan Boot, and Denton was free at the back post, clearly having lost his marker, and Denton heading into what was pretty much an unguarded net. And the Moors, after a good start here, have found themselves behind once again against the Spireites as Tom Denton heads home for his 9th goal of the season, and it is Solihull Moors 0, Chesterfield 1 here on Solihull Moors TV. Now on the outside left with Taylor. Taylor looking for the cross, and it is towards Yanni, who's got it back towards Asante, and now, oh, that's a real chance there for Saturday's goal scorer Whelan, and he blazed it over the top. Somewhat fortunate. It looked like the Moors had done the good work there in terms of getting the ball away from the free man in the box, but then it bounced really nicely for Whelan. But the Spireites attacking midfielder fluffs his lines. Is sent away by Maguire, and now a chance for Whelan to try and attack Williams. Well, he did the right thing there initially, but Asante scrambled away, and now a challenge by Cameron on Asante, and I'm trying to see the colour of the card here. I believe the yellow card has already been shown, as Asante was brought down. So there is the card. There's the yellow card now for Cameron. It should bounce nicely for Carter. And yet it did not. It was spin on the ball, took the bounce away from him, and he had to go backwards. Now Williams takes on Whelan. Minor space for the cross here, makes Taylor commit himself. Now Cox arrives at Dunower, and just over the top on the volley. Not quite on the volley, but the ball just skidded through really nicely. Sat up for Dunower quite nicely, and it was worth a pop. But just flashing over the top of Carl Everton's crossbar. Tried to play it off of Denton and had the right idea, but it didn't bounce out of play in the way that Sabara designed it to. And now here's Asante dancing around defenders. And he's got space on goal. Oh, he's hit the inside of the post. What a spectacular strike that would have been from former Moor Equalizes Asante. Sliding attempt by Cameron Cox there to try and win the ball, and he did in the end help it to a defender, but it wasn't quite the way he designed it. Sabara was looking to make a run, but it was headed away by the defender in the middle there, Hollis, and the Moors could have an attack alive, and they do, through Sabara back to Hudlin on the left-hand side. He's going to play it back to Cranston. Does Cranston have space for a cross? Needs help and gets it from Storer, who will guide it in towards Donowa. Great save, but Sabara is there to tap in, and he is onside, it appears. Yes, he is, and Joe Sabara makes it one apiece here, and after Equalize Asante is denied by dancing through an army of yellow shirts and playing it off the post and then out. The ball goes in towards Donowa off of Kyle Storer's cross. There's a great save from Leveron, but it went right to Joe Sabara, who with his last touch tonight puts it in the net to level the scores. It is Sabara's third goal of the season in the National League. It's his fifth in all competitions, so he becomes the top goal scorer in all competitions for the Moors. James Ball remains the top goal scorer in league play with 4. For Chesterfield, the cross stayed in play. Now there could be a chance for the ball. It's still up for Mandeville. Is Weston offside? He is on, and great save from Boot, although you could argue Weston could have done better with it. But that one could creep in and it's blocked, and Cameron Cox scrambles it away from Joel Taylor. And against the run of play, Chesterfield, who could already have a second goal through Asante earlier on, go very close through Weston, running onto that through ball and firing it at Ryan Boot. Throw-in taken short in the end, and Taylor gets another cross in. Storer plays away, but right to Asante! Deflected behind, and Chesterfield. Mandeville just hanging on the edge of the area. Here it comes. And the header was won initially by Yanni, and then it's a save by Boot. That's a great reaction save from Boot to see that ball among all those bodies, but the attack is still alive. Williams trying to get it away and does just about. It's still with Maguire, played high off of Maycock. It's still in play. Could be there for Yanni to win it up against Williams. Williams just steals it from him, and then Cox is there to help, but Yanni's still trying to keep it alive. And now a clearance looking for Ward. It's back to Joel Taylor. And now here is Weston. But good high pressing from the Moors, and Ward almost making an interception there. But Chesterfield do hub it back to their goalkeeper, Leveron. 4 Moors players all in a line. Here it comes. It goes in towards Cameron and then over him. And Williams goes for the header. Not really in position to try and guide it on target. Maycock and Cox are in the area. Jamie Ward is right on the edge of it. Donowa, Storer. They're all pretty much on the goal line. There's 4 Moors players right on the goal line. And here it comes towards Hudlin. And another corner is the call. I thought Hudlin had gotten a flick onto that one. It just flashed across the goal. Now Callum Maycock makes himself available short, but it's going to go right into the area and in the net, but it won't count. Moors players have no idea why, and we're inclined to agree. Couldn't tell who got on the end of it. Might have been Tyrone Williams. I'm eager to see a replay of him. Just looking over to our cameraman to see who got the touch on that one. But it won't count either way. It was possibly Callum Maycock. No, Maycock was back, so maybe it was Carl Storer. Moors always finding themselves outnumbered here. The cross comes in and is well headed away by Kyle Hudlin, and Carter is in position to get this one down the line towards Donowa. Jamie Ward is forward if he can find a run. Or could Donowa cut inside? He'll cut inside and then outside of Joel Taylor initially, but then turns backwards and needs some help. Gets it from Cranston. Maycock is to the right. Asante backtracking against him. Now here is Ward. Can the Moors go from one end to the other to steal the win here? Go towards Hudlin. Goal for the Moors. They've done it. Kyle Hudlin heads home. The Moors do indeed go from one end to the other, and it's the man who headed away from the corner right in his goal mouth who then heads it in at the other end. And that is just everything that Kyle Hudlin can offer you. Can you believe that this man was playing some 6 or 7 tiers below this level just 10 to 12 weeks ago? And he scored the wonder goal against Halifax, and he's done it here after the excellent cross on the right-hand side finds the head of Hudlin. And Leveron did all he could to get to it, but it's crept in. And I think for all the possession and the quality they've shown, I think the Moors have earned it, but there's no question it's harsh on Chesterfield, who, yes, they've been out of the game for much of these last 45 minutes, but they've had chances. Asante so unlucky when he danced around all those Moors defenders and hit the post. And Ryan Boot coming to the rescue on a couple of occasions as well. There's really only going to be one last throw of the dice, really, from a Chesterfield perspective. It's gone forward towards Dinanga, who wins a header. It bounces nicely for Mandeville. Now here's Maguire, just going to try and get it into the box. Carter sees it out. Now Mandeville. Maycock will pressure him, and Mandeville has lost it. Ward is free to the outside. If Maycock wants to go that way, he's going to try and take on McCourt. And now try and get it through to Ward. Ricochet will bring it back to Maycock, and now here's Ward again. Ward looking for the corner flag against Mandeville. There's surely just seconds left. Chesterfield have to get 10 yards here. The Moors frankly won't care. They're not going to do anything with it, because there is the full-time whistle. The Moors have stolen it here at the SportNation.bet Stadium through Kyle Hudlin's last gasp header into the bottom far corner in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Hudlin clearing away the corner from his own 6-yard box, then heading it into the goal at the other end to win the game for the Moors in his own in the Chesterfield area. That coming about half an hour, in fact, after Sabara's goal. But Sabara's goal coming right after Equalizes Asante, the former Moor, danced around some 4 or 5 Moors players and would have scored what would have been the 2nd best goal of the season here at Damser Park, let's be honest. And just hitting it off the inside of the post. So unlucky for Equalizes Asante right before the Moors got level, with Kyle Storer chipping it forward into the box for Donowa to head. Leveron making the save. Joe Sabara with his last touch of the night before being substituted, hitting home on the rebound. And then there were a couple of chances amidst a huge goalmouth scramble for Chesterfield right before Hudlin won it at the death. A spectacular game here at the SportNation.bet Stadium, and the Moors have somehow found a way to win it. And I think on the balance of things, it's probably just about deserved, but boy, is it hard on you if you're a Chesterfield supporter. It's finished here at the SportNation.bet Stadium. Solihull Moors 2, Chesterfield 1, with Kyle Hudlin, the man of the hour once again.